no, 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 no. I, yes, I did say I would use that song for an intro, but I was just kidding. I can't play that song on YouTube. Why? First of all, copyright infringement, and the lyrics of that song will probably get me kicked off YouTube. Sorry. Sorry, folks. Production team. Okay, let's work on another song. Until then, let's let her rip. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Ronald Ray here, your boy with a cornbread accent. Welcome you to this week's episode of Wrestling Gold Friday Night. Yes, made it to Friday, folks. A little bit of a rough week. Sorry about last week. Was like all of a sudden just got these chills and got sick and stuff like that. Then other problems, came about, or being under the weather, stuff like that. But today I'm feeling much better, much better. No pain, no chills, except for it's a little cool in here, but that's the way I like it. A little cool, and hey, it is November 1st. Should be seeing those temperatures drop a whole lot. But yes, so what I like to do, traditional thing for all the hard working men and women, salute you folks for making it to Friday. Let's see what else. Salute to men and women that's got to work this weekend. Hey, we got much love for you too. And hey, cheers to the doctors who had to. I can put it this way. They unfortunately had to see a little more of me than they probably wanted. So big salute to those. But hey, thanks to those doctors at Kaiser, feeling much better. Got the antibiotics, got the wash solution, stuff like that, and I'm good to go a little bit. Still got to patch it up a little bit. But other than that, good to go. Yeah, I'm going to not, you I'll spare the details. And somebody forgot to shut their phone off. Let me make sure it's stuff. Sorry, I 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna forget to shut my phone off, or at least shut the volume down. Anyway, cheers to all you folks. That's pretty chill. Put it in the fridge a little. Almost put it in the fridge a little. We're good to go. Anyway, this is Wrestling Gold Friday Night, where we talk about the yesteryear of wrestling, classic wrestling stuff, of course. Back when wrestling was real. None of that Vince McMahon Jr. crap. Even though we still liked this crap through the years. But anyway, yes. So talk about a little bit of childhood, history there when it pops up. Do the usual thing. We're gonna go through and discuss this day in wrestling history, and for a watch along, we got some Global Wrestling Federation from Dallas, Texas, at the Global Dome, which was really the sportatorium. Hopefully, y'all can hear me well. But anyway, let's see what else. I was going to say something, but I forgot what I was going to say. Go ahead. Apologize. I was trying to find a Global Wrestling Federation that had or episode that had Lightning Kid versus Jerry Lynn, but couldn't really find one. But we do got a Lightning Kid match and a few other notable people on this episode. I think this episode was like in January. It was a January 7th episode, so it was kind of like a little year end review thing. So it should be pretty fun watch. Just a bunch of highlights of this and that. Um, so let me go ahead and do the sales pitch here. Hey, if you're watching this live, join me in the chat, ask questions, leave comments, or just say hello. Don't be shy. I'll say hello right back at you. But if you're not watching live, hey, at the comment section, again, leave a comment, ask a question, or just say hello. Uh, Also, if you're digging this, click that thumbs up button. That lets me know somebody likes this. And if you're not yet a subscriber, be a champ and click on that subscribe button, as well as the notification bell. That way you'll know when new content you know, uh, gets uploaded to YouTube. I'm looking for the right words. I need to get the sheet. I need to. It never really comes. I did a little bit of my own twist to it, but it doesn't sound as good as the other ones that who do this like sometimes 4 or 5 times a day. Like one of the YouTube channels I watch, I think he does like 4 or 5 different videos a day. Sometimes like 10 to 15 minutes, but you know, just like that, does the whole sales pitch thing. Joe King, what's happening? Cheers, Joe. Okay, that's a pretty good beer. Uh, Not a big beer drinker, but if anybody's got if anybody's got another type of beer that's pretty good. I mean, I'm not talking like a dark beer. I'm not a beer snob or anything like that. I don't drink beer often. So long as it's not Cheers. What about Cheers? Oh, Cheers. Yes, Cheers. Tables, ladders, and Cheers. Cheers. Yes. You know what? If I ever get another place soon, I should do that. Should have like a little ladder, the chair on top, and some alcoholic beverage on top. That would be kind of cool. It'd be my decoration. Um, and I'm probably decorate with other wrestling stuff when I find, and mostly posters and stuff like that. But that's few and far between. I get another place so I can get a decent back or a room without this because my bedroom is small and cluttered and all that good shit. Anyway, let's enough about me. Let's get into the wrestling. Where am I at here? Find my notes. Boom, there's my notes. And let's talk about today in wrestling history. Of course, today is November 1st. Let's see. For next week, it'll be 4 more days or 4 more weeks until Thanksgiving. Um, More than likely, I probably would not have a Spot Show live stream that Thursday, Thanksgiving week, because it's Thanksgiving and there's no telling what time I'll get home. And when I do get home, I'll be stuffed and really ready to go to sleep. So, not pretty sure a lot of you folks would be busy too Thanksgiving. So, um, might record a little something. Usually I do a Survivor Series and Starcade uh, classic wrestling reminiscing. So, should if I have time this weekend, I'll probably start getting ready to do that. We do get a free hour, yeah, but it's going to be wasted on some. Well, I don't know. See, Sunday's going to be a travel day for me. Yeah, I got to head to South Georgia Sunday. I had to head there about 11:30 Sunday because I got to be at the site at 1:30 or 2 o'clock a.m. concrete pour. So, so basically I have like a 1 day week. But you know, while I'm at the hotel, I can still work on this. But anyway, so yes, so more than likely, no live stream on Thanksgiving Day. If anybody's out there, if they really want to try to do it, uh, I don't know how you do watch parties live stream. I guess everybody has to have a Peacock or something like that, and a lot of people's gonna be shopping too. I, I'll think about it from now, but usually I do a classic wrestling reminiscing, Starcade, which let's see, this year will be the third year Survivor Series, and the Starcade '85. Probably, probably the last really good Starcade because I had that match. Just give y'all a heads up on that. So no uh, spot show live stream Thanksgiving Day. Cool. I take Black Friday off. I'm kind of thinking about because I'm getting like 4 day or Thanksgiving is kind of like not really a work day, but uh, you gotta do the family thing, stuff like that. So uh, I'll be getting like 3 days where I don't have to be nowhere or do anything. So, I don't know if I want to be lazy on Black Friday, thank day after Thanksgiving. So I'll think about it, or maybe do a short, you know, uh, earlier one. But we'll get to that later. Anyway, let's get to today's episode of Wrestling Gold Friday Night and talk a little bit about the history. Of course, today is November 1st, and on this date in 1974, Buddy Cole and Roger Kirby defeated Ole and Gene Anderson for the vacant Georgia Tag Team titles at the Municipal Auditorium in Atlanta, Georgia. On this date in 1975, Don Kent wins the U.S. Detroit version title from Mark Lewin. On this date in 1976, Danny Little Bear and Chief Thundercloud don't know much about their history or about these two. But I do know about the team they defeated. They defeated Phil Hickerson and Dennis Connery to win the Southern Tag Team titles at the Mid South Coliseum in Memphis. Man, Phil Hickerson, even even the short time I did see him, it was probably the tail end of his career. Dude was for a guy his size, and even at his age at the time, dude could freaking move. Then he changed himself to PY High, and we talked a little bit about that when we talked about USWA Dallas. Um, but yeah, dude was pretty freaking good. Even I'm, you know, years ago when I went back and watched this and kept hearing how good he was, I was like, he wasn't really that good. But then you watch it with different eyes, educated, smart mark eyes and be like, you know what, this guy wasn't that bad. This guy freaking move for a guy his age and size. So, and of course, Dennis Condrey, it went on to be a big deal as a member of the Midnight Express and the Midnight Express with Bobby Eaton. Then back to the original Midnight Express with Randy Rose. Uh, but yeah, he's uh, Dennis Condrey, pretty much a perennial tag team wrestler, kind of like the Arn Anderson was, or yeah, somewhat Arn Anderson. Uh, Also on that same card, Rocky Johnson defeated Jerry Lawler to win the Southern title. So, all right, on this date in 1977, Mikey Yuta battled Jackie Sato for to a 60-minute draw. I think believe the rest was called a Broadway, 60-minute Broadway. However, WWWA president Mildred Burke declares Sato the winner and of the match, and this was the All Japan Women's match at the Nippon Budokan, whatever. uh, Best way I pronounce that. Let's get focused. I think there's going to be a movie coming out by uh, Mildred Burke. I think it's going to have Tony Storm in it. I'm not sure if Tony Storm's playing Mildred Burke, excuse me. But somehow I've glanced up. You know how you just glance over stuff and you see something mentioned. So uh, I'll do some more research about that and talk about it probably next week. All right. On this day in 1980, the Big Cat, honey lad, better call somebody, defeated Dick the Bruiser for the WWE World Title in Indianapolis, Indiana. Also on that same year, Ricky Steamboat defeated the Iron Sheik for the Mid Atlantic title, and Roddy Piper defeated Paul Jones in a tournament final for the vacant NWA TV title. On this day in 1981, speaking of Roddy Piper and Ricky Steamboat, Roddy Piper defeats Ricky Steamboat for the Mid Atlantic title in Greensboro, North Carolina. In other matches, United States title match, Leroy Brown defeated Sergeant Slaughter by disqualification. Ole and Gene Anderson defeated Wahoo McDaniel and Jake Roberts. The grappler Lynn Denton defeated Jay Youngblood. Jimmy Valiant defeated Ricky Harris. Of course, Ricky Harris was brought to become Black Bart. The Ninja defeated Mike Davis. And Blackjack Mulligan Jr. defeated Jim Nelson. Of course, Blackjack Mulligan Jr. is Barry Windham. And Jim Nelson went up to become Private Jim Nelson, then later on for Sukoff. Uh, Also, Buddy Landale defeated Mean Mike Miller. Hello, Brenda Watson. Sorry, we're not matching again. My Gatorade bottle is Glacier. See how he's doing? Somebody says hey. Say hey back. But anyway, yes, Buddy Landale defeated Mean Mike Miller. Uh, so in 1981, Dory Funk Jr. defeated Bruiser Brody to retain the NWA International Championship. Ted DiBiase defeated Paul Orndorff to win the North American title in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Sad news on this date in 1985. Quick McGraw passed away from a heart attack. Born in 1955, passed away, of course, this day on 1985. Popular lower card wrestler, somewhat enhancement talent, especially in the WWF. It was pretty popular up there, even though his win loss record wasn't that great. People seem to kind of gravitate towards him, but unfortunately, he passed away from a heart attack. Not going to say why, but uh, you can go ahead and guess why. Also, some sad news in 1993, Pinky George passed away from cancer at the age of 89. Pinky George, he was a professional wrestling promoter, boxing promoter, and businessman. Uh, pretty much, I think Sam Munch, they pretty much call him the father of the NWA. So he was a very much part of the early or the beginnings of the NWA and shaped it to where it was back then. Very much a big powerhouse, controlling all these territories and all that good stuff. Um, let's see. I'm not gonna read this. Let's see. After marrying his wife Elizabeth, uh, embarked on a promotional career in Mason now, Mason City, Iowa. They relocated to Des Moines, Iowa, where George promoted his first wrestling card match between Joe Stetcher and George Basel in 1920. Uh, and we kept on promoting. On January 23rd, 1951, George incorporated the NWA as a nonprofit with codes of ethics in Iowa for tax purposes, help him ensure its survival for years to come. Um, he will later grow disillusioned with the NWA with the direction of it, which he was not reluctant to in expressing, but nevertheless remained confident in the new presidency of Sam Muchnick. Tensions, however, grew, and George withdrew from the NWA of directors in 1951 with bitterness and rivalry at its height. 1957, between NWA and rival promoters, wrestlers such as Waldick Zbyszko, George Simpson, and Sonny Myers. George claimed that he received a phone call telling him to get out of the wrestling business, or we will deliver your body to your wife. Wow. Uh, yeah. The From what you hear from the NWA back then, it was kind of like a little bit of a mafia. Not sure how true it was, but eh, this prompted George to purchase a gun, of course. George alleged that this was part of a one sided wrestling war to harass, scare, discourage him out of the business. He also believed that it was time to coincide the federal investigation against the NWA for alleged monopolistic practices, basically having a monopoly over the whole wrestling business. That's where you had outlaw promotions, anything that wasn't NWA, part of the NWA territory system, was considered outlaw promotion. Case in point, uh, All South Wrestling in Atlanta during the Georgia Wrestling War. Uh, Bob Roop's All Star Wrestling that had a heated uh, cross promotional war with uh, Ron Fuller's Southeastern Championship Wrestling, also based in Knoxville at the time. Uh, that'll be an interesting topic to talk about. Need to get some notes about that. But really starting to learn, uh, and of course the whole Plan B thing, Plan B video that Bob Root, Ron Garvin, everybody put out. So it was very much a very much a real. It was a shoot with them. The case against NWA went on trial in 1958. Simpson testified that Pinky, excuse me, Simpson testified against Pinky, stated he had difficulty booking wrestlers within the NWA system, but he had recently straightened things out with Muchnick and Brown. Muchnick himself testified as a witness for the plaintiff, but did little to harm the NWA or Pinky George. The jury found in favor of Pinky on and the NWA on December 8th. Let's see, later life. George was angry at what he perceived as treachery from his peers, including Mushnick. In a letter to NWA members, he resigned from the alliance, saying that a very small minority of the alliance, including President Mushnick, are in violation of government decree, interlocking regional monopolies that control the champion, endanger every member of the alliance. George would have friction with the NWA over the next several years, including infamous federal antitrust lawsuit. Uh, he would he would continue to promote boxing in the region and was active citizen into his senior years. In 1967, he was the manager of future boxing champion, boxing world welterweight champion Curtis Coates. If any of you boxing fans know who that is. Uh, but yeah, he was looked at as a visionary for the NWA at the time he helped create it. Uh, in 2014, he was nominated to the NWA Hall of Fame. Did not know, didn't know a lot about George. All right. Also in 1993, at the Mid South Coliseum, Rex Hargrove and Coco Beware defeated Jeff Jarrett and Brian Christopher to win the USWA Tag Team titles. Of course, Memphis, yeah, I mean, Global is actually still going around. All right, on this date in 1998, ECW November to Remember 1998 in New Orleans, Louisiana, Lakefront Arena, drawing a whopping 5,800 people, which was ECW's largest crowd to date. Uh, Shown live on pay per view, Blue Meanie and Supernova defeated Dana Doring and Amish Roadkill. Tommy, Tommy Rogers, formerly of the Fantastics, defeated Tracy Smothers. Lance Storm defeated Jerry Lynn. Masato Tanaka and Boss Mahoney defeated the Dudley Boys. Let's see. Jake Roberts. Oh, actually, defeated them to win the ECW Tag Team titles. Jake Roberts and Tommy Dreamer defeated Just Incredible and Jack Victory. And in your main event, you have the new triple. I remember this angle. People, they started kind of forming a little bit of alliance, and people, would the ECW crowd would chant "New Triple Threat, New Triple Threat." So they kind of got billed for as a new triple threat for uh short time anyway. It was Sabu, Rob Van Dam, and Taz, and they defeated the real triple threat: Bam Bam Bigelow, Chris Candido, and Shane Douglas. And that concludes today in wrestling history. Yeah, I used to love all ECW, the pay per views, uh, and they kind of got stagnant towards the end. Um, like sometimes their house, I guess Paulie was kind of stealing from. Well, I'm pretty sure WWF was doing it at the time, but um, WCW were doing it where basically the live shows you would pretty much have the same matches as the upcoming pay per view, and that's where they kind of work on finishes or pretty much have that same finish till pay per view comes, and uh, then everybody will sit there and go, "Hey, I think Joe King or something, yeah." So, oh yeah, this is the same finish at the as the house show in the Omni as the pay per view match. Um, I don't know where I was going, but yeah, he was kind of going there for that too. Um, so I think the one, I think, well, I don't know, the last time we was in Gwinnett, it was a TNN TV tape, so it wasn't a house show. We did do a house show in Marietta. That's the one where we talked about before, where Phillies almost started a riot. Some dude got beat up by security. And I think that was the last time, at least ECW was at the Cobb County Civic Center. I actually think they had wrestling there not maybe a year or so ago. I accidentally stumbled on it a few weeks ago, but um, I mean I don't know what kind of goes on there now. I'm pretty sure it'd be a hell of a building to rent now. I think they did a lot of renovations and stuff like that as well. So I couldn't tell you what probably looks like inside, but um, but yeah, that of course I remember Tommy Rod Roger Tommy Dreamer had picked Jake Roberts to be a surprise tag team partner in that match, and Terry Funk didn't like that one bit. Um, and Supernova, he would become Simon Dean in WWE. A lot of people don't like Nova or Simon Dean. I guess when he became an agent and all that, I thought he was pretty decent in the ring. Um, Danny Doring, they didn't go. They pretty much didn't go straight to the independents mainly after ECW, uh, as well as Tracy Smothers, Tommy Rogers. Of course, Tommy Rogers. This was after the whole Fantastic deal. I think Bobby Fulton was kind of in and out. Maybe sometimes tagging with his brother Jackie, but Tommy Rogers kept in pretty good shape and was able to hang with some of the young up and comers at ECW. Uh, Tanaka, I don't think Tanaka wrestles anymore, does he? Or wrestles sparingly. Lance Storm, that would have been a hell of a match. You want to see a good match between uh, it's kind of a legendary match that didn't happen on pay per view or anything like that. I think it was a ECW house show. Uh, Lance Storm went against Jerry Lynn and no bumps whole match. Neither one of them took a bump. And I mean Lance Storm got on the like the fan cam or whatever it was and said no bumps or hey look no bumps. Uh, but Lance Storm was a hell of a good technician as well as Jerry Lynn. I think I did see this pay per view, but it was probably I don't think I seen it live. I think I seen it on tape. Yeah, roadkill. Chicken. Um, yeah, that, that screams. Uh, that screams being extreme. Maybe if WWF was still doing gimmicks, might have got over there. But WWF even uh, separated themselves from anything too gimmick. I mean, they still had it. Undertaker '98. Don't not sure if he was the American Badass at the time, and not the Undertaker, like the Dead Man Undertaker. All right, are we ready for our little watch along here? Yes, this week featuring the Global Wrestling Federation. I figured I'd talk about it. I mean, I just talked about pretty much the one match. And unfortunately, the one match I talked about, I couldn't find a full episode. So let me copy a link here. Thank you, Main Event Comedy, for well, let's for having this on here or having the video on here. We're at least going about to get a couple more views on this thing. Of course, this person put up this video January 5th of 2023. So let's see here. There's a link to it whenever your folks are ready. No, press play. And we'll do a little countdown. Give everybody a few minutes to get situated. All right, I'm moving back and forth. All right, we ready? All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press play. We go. Press play. All right, quick question though. Can y'all just hear me talking? Y'all don't hear any kind of noise in the background here? All right, good. Because I do got like my tablet playing. That way I can hear the commentary and watch at the same time. Because sometimes I get a little lost what's going on. But yes, that's Joe Penicino, host of Superstars of Wrestling in Atlanta. Him, and another backer decided trying to conquer the wrestling world. Have a national promotion called Global Wrestling Federation, and wife Bonnie Blackstone. Uh, yeah, attractive woman back in the day. But yes, he just still not sure why he didn't choose to try to run this in Georgia, but he decided to go to Dallas and run this at the Sportatorium, which they changed the name for TV purposes, of course, to the Global Dome. Yeah, Wow, Bonnie, and that's that was the guy talking right now, Joe Penicino, was her husband, and they stayed together until he passed away. And that's a Patriot right there. Thought he was going to be a big star, but uh, for whatever reason, he kind of left Global. And of course, that's the same Patriot, Del Wilkes. Al Perez, another. Nobody talks about Al Al Perez that much, but Al Perez was very good. I mean, he could have been easily a world champion. And at the corner, there's Eddie Gilbert. I think this is when he took over the book uh, at Global. I think Bill Eddie, uh, Demolition Axe or Mass Superstar. I think he was the first booker there. Damn, yeah, Dell's freaking jacked. I mean, I can see why somebody would, if they was going to start a promotion, trying to uh, strongly push him. And of course, this was 92, had the, no, I think it's DEL, Dell. I think you kind of had it right the first time. Of course, a little trivia information. He was also one half of the last AWA World Tag Team Champions with uh, DJ Peterson. And of course, I think he was a WCW Tag Team Champion too with Marcus Bagwell, forming a team of Stars and Stripes. I think he wound up spending a lot of time in Japan too, teaming with Jackie Fulton, who was the Eagle. You know how I know he sucks? How's that? You haven't seen a moonsault yet? No Frankensteiner yet? No Flippy move yet? 18 with Buff. Yeah, I just I just said that. Are you trying to say Too Cold Scorpio suck too? Come on, man. Was that a 3 count? Yeah, Alfred, like I said, Alfred's was very good, but he didn't put up with no bullshit though. I recently watched his shooting review from RF Video. It was on it was on YouTube. I think he's done a couple with the Hannibal guy, but I ain't seen either one of those. But the one the one from RF, he pretty much said he didn't put up with no BS. Had a very short stint in the WWE RF. No, 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 no. Bad guy, good guy. Bad guy, good guy. Yeah, he done heard about Pat Patterson, and Eddie Guerrero took his bumps as well. Yeah, that's the one where yeah, Sting supposedly Sting and Lex Luger made fun of handicapped kids. So here's a couple of oh yeah, Hall of Famers. Freebird Terry Gordy and Mick Foley. This is of course Mick Foley in his early years in wrestling. He was starting to definitely get a starting to get a following. This was definitely before ECW, before WCW, or in between WCW. And I think that yeah, this is after Terry Gordy's first heart attack or seizure in Japan. Yeah, lost a lot of weight. Still big guy, but who's that? Cactus Sack Foley. Yeah, eh, he is what he is. Funny, funny thing, you know, people talk about his politics, and the funny thing about it, he sure as hell wants to get paid when uh, if anything he's on. Supposedly, he did confront uh, the Insane Clown Posse about the Stranglemania video, and demanding to get paid for that. They paid him. I mean, they were more than ready to pay him, but yeah, he's not a guy to do anything for free. Let's just say that. Gordy was in pretty damn good shape. I mean, lost a lot of weight, got in some good shape. Oh, there it is. The Oriental Spike. Oh, was it? I don't know. I heard he kind of confronted him at either a WWE show or it could have been the Funk's house, and I don't know. I kind of heard differently that he was very much want to get paid for that. I could be wrong, but it seems like I heard somewhere where when he seen him, they made sure he want to get paid. I mean, of course, this is wrestling. They might, people like to change their stories, and that's why he was pretty much done. And he had a few little matches here and there, but as far as a full time schedule, 2000 came, he was not doing a full time schedule. Which he made, good for him. He made plenty of money. Jerry Gordy with that power bomb, which they used to call the Bam Bam Slam. Wow, Bill Irwin and Dadgum Black Bart. And that's right. They can do any. Yeah, I check it back out, but it seems like I heard a little differently. Seems like on the YouTube or YouTube video, Foley, you know, kind of asked them about it, and they were ready to pay him. And there's not a dadgum stinking thing that you. Oh yeah, this is the big storyline time. Who's the boss of the mafia or something like that, or the cartel? Excuse me, cartel. Yes, Max. I think that was the another financial backer of the Global Wrestling Federation. Yeah, yeah. Oh, so okay, so they went to Funk's house and paid him, and didn't want he didn't want to be paid. He was all cool with it. Yeah, I was talking more about Mick Foley. Mick Foley confronted him, and he definitely wanted him to get paid. And yes, that is Scotty the Body, who grew up to become Raven. Okay, so yeah, they went and paid Funk, and okay, I get it now. So Gary Young here, he's playing Babyface. Nah, John Stock. Okay, so he was Scott Anthony at the time. I forgot about that. Yeah, he could, you know, if you remade twins at the time, you know, uh, Gary Young could be the bigger brother or whatever, and or the bigger twin, and John Stossel could have been a smaller twin like Danny DeVito. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure he could have been in WCW or something like that. But what the hell? Okay. Where did they get this J Bone from? Oh lordy. Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, this is where yeah. Then they turned the story around and said Max Andrew was being a spy or something like that. No, it's not Tony Khan. I don't think. I think this is the only thing this guy ever did was. I mean, he might have been a financial backer as well, but that's it. I don't think he ever made any kind of decisions or anything like that. So, in other words, this is when some of the mob or the cartel members were leaving Global. I think either went back to Canada or went to WWF. Yeah, but not as coked up. Yeah, I do remember this angle, and this angle pretty much lost me. So I don't know. I don't know if it's one of those deals where people were people in the cartel were leaving, and then so that kind of killed that whole angle, and just had Max Andrews come back as at least he tried to explain it, but so yeah, that's Sam Houston, brother of Jake the Snake Roberts, and Bull Payne. I think he was here. I think Memphis too. I think he did a little bit in WCW. I think he was a job guy in WCW. And I do believe that's the same. Is that the same Samantha that's now married to Bill Dundee? Yeah, Samantha first was here for you know whatever bullpen was. That's where Samantha was. And he's going to duck. Going to duck. And by the way, yes, Sam Houston was married to Baby Doll at this point. That could be. Oops, I think I spoiler alert. Stephen the Truth or Stephen Prazak. If you watched NWA Wildside in the early 2000s, and of course NWA Wildside was an independent promotion, but they did have TV. Um, Apparently, it was popular in Philadelphia. You didn't know that Stephen the Truth and Stephen Prazak was the same person? Yeah, because you remember him and Craig Johnson was on Point Counterpoint on Superstars Wrestling for a long time. So that's how they kind of they kind of got on here, then went off to do other things. Yeah, that's a very young Stephen Prazak. Yeah, Yeah, yeah. First time I seen, I forgot how ditzy Wildsider. Seeing that he was one of the commentators, I was like, oh, that's Stephen the Truth. So I guess now he's Stephen Prazak. Yeah, it was funny the build up to the start of Global Wrestling Federation. I could see he was Norman the Lunatic, Fashion Booger. Oh, Scott Hudson. What did I say? Craig? Who's Craig John? Yeah, Scott Hudson. My bad. But yeah, him and Scott Hudson did the point counting point type deal. They actually did that for free for Joe Pensino because they're both like huge fans. That's Craig Johnson, I guess. My bad. So yeah, like I said, at least I did get a Lightning Kid match on here, but I didn't get the Lightning Kid. I don't think the Lightning Kid and Jerry Lynn's on this one. Should have that one or one of those. As a very young 1, 2, 3 kid, and I remember first time I seen him, I was like, man, this dude is good, got cool moves, but annoying as shit. That pretty much will follow him to the rest of his career because every now and then he get like a little pop because he's part of Click. No, that's Salt. That's the ceremonial. He came back from Japan, started doing the ceremonial Salt deal. Oh, Scott Anthony is doing the or Scott Anthony, Sky the Body, Raven. He's doing the commentary, and it's probably gonna be freaking hilarious. Well, I don't think him and Scott Hall had quite met yet. No, that's a Frankensteiner. There we goes. Scotty's correcting the announcer. Oh, come on. Trust me, no cokehead's gonna waste the blow on a gimmick saying it's Salt. God, what a dork. What a fucking dork. God. Well, notice he didn't do too many. He did AEW number of dives. Yeah, it's like a little bit of blue matting around it, but not like totally covered. Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of those guys, uh, especially at least the next night or next day when they woke up, they regretted that. So the brace protects them from the figure four, but not a kick to it. And who was that? Like Fast Eddie, like took a huge like one of the Dobbins boys, freaking lifted him up and like threw him over the top rope. And he yeah, Fast Eddie, man, that was a thud. Oh, time for the booger sugar. Oh, there's Jerry Lynn, a young Jerry Lynn. Yeah, both Dobbins threw him out. That was like I said, that's a hell of a thud. Yeah, very young Jerry Lynn, a young Mister JL, and they gave him a sleeper as a finisher. The sneaky sleep. It was a sneaky sleep. Yeah, that was Mike Davis and oh, uh, I know he teamed a lot in Memphis. I think with Tony Anthony as a dirty white boy, but didn't last that long. But supposedly he was Mike Davis's brother. Mike Davis, of course, the rock and roll RPM. A young Axel Rotten. Nah, that was a you know who Axel Rotten is? Big Bully Music. Georgia legend. Had a cup of coffee in WWF as well. Yeah, very young Hudson too. Um, I do believe that's. I do believe that's Doug Gilbert. Anyway, how did he get there? Well, he might have. I think. I mean, didn't Stephen the Truth uh work for WCW maybe for a little bit? Or well, I mean, Paul Heyman did work for Georgia Independence for a little bit, so and was on Superstars of Wrestling, so they probably could have met there. And when he needed somebody, called him up. Well, I mean, he did keep himself kind of covered up. It was not really small, but I I know it wound up being Doug Gilbert wound up being the Dark Patriot. So yeah, I imagine they probably crossed paths when Paul Heyman or Paulie Dangerously was working for Joe Pensino for a little bit in Georgia. Stephen and Craig or Scott Hudson was around. But yeah, I remember at that time before Global actually op- op- opened the doors. Yeah, he was bigger. He was not a body guy, of course, but he was, uh, a few double cheeseburgers and a few beers. Uh, but you gotta understand, this is when he first started to. I mean, he was kind of big then, but not as big as. Well, he didn't get super big either. Um, I do remember when the Global before it opened its doors. Joe Pensino, I think, went on Memphis one time, or went to a couple of little like USW or whatever, and started talking about, oh, there's this, I'm representing Global Wrestling Federation. We're trying to seek out, where we can partner with people. He did Memphis and Georgia, but wound up doing a thing in Dallas Sportatorium. Like I said, I don't understand why he did that. If anybody out there knows why, yeah, but oh yeah, very cool show. Like I said, it was a year in review thing, but it's cool to see you know Terry Gordy and Mick Foley and a few of the people there at the time. Like I said, I wish I could have got at least the one Lightning Kid and Jerry Lynn match. A few other matches would have been good to see too from there. And of course, we got to hear Scott Levy, Scotty the Body, Scott Anthony, Raven, whatever you want to call him. Get to hear him when he was a cocky pretty boy heel doing commentary. That's always entertaining. Um, but yeah, like I said, never got. I guess he thought that would be the place to do it instead of Georgia, and he already. I think he was. I know he was like partnership too with Southern Championship Wrestling from Georgia with Jerry Blackwell, I believe. Then Georgia All Star kind of by himself. Um, I guess he couldn't get. I guess he couldn't get decent. I'm thinking he couldn't get a decent sized building to run, uh, and he thought sport, nobody's going to be using Sportatorium. Uh, uh, so he went there, and I think I mean, he had ESPN. ESPN had a show like every day. Um, but when I was, let's see, 91, I was I was 14, 15 at the time, I guess. Yeah, 15. So that whole he was just a mole or double agent thing that kind of threw me off a little bit. I mean, this uh, have him come could have had him come out there and still been the boss or whatever, and put some different wrestlers with him. Uh, yeah, uh, very young Jerry Lynn, a very young Sean Waltman, Lightning Kid. Chaz didn't. I think Chaz stayed in Global because after Joe Pen, I forgot who bought it after Joe Penicino or who took it over after Joe Penicino. Some cliff notes about this federation. So yeah, the founders were Max Andrews and Joe Penicino. Then in '92, they left. Um, let's see. Uh, Following a massive cutback on budget, Penicino and Johnson left the promotion. Due to a pay dispute, Booker, Eddie Gilbert, and Brother Doug, who was working as a Dark Patriot, left GWF in '92. Let's see. Then after that, I guess temporarily folded, and the promotional rights was purchased by a group called North Star Promotions, which was formed by Gray Pearson, Robert Keeler, and Wayne Whitworth. Uh, this probably just sounds like three guys with money. Um, but they brung in like a lot of the former world class stars like Chris Adams, Kerry Von Erich, Iceman Parsons, uh, and all that. Oh, and of course, can't forget the Bungie match with Stephen Dane and Chaz. That was kind of, and they were actually sued by the WWF. In 1992, Global Wrestling Federation was sued by World Wrestling Federation because they felt the use of the word global was too close to the word world. And I think they owned some of the library too. Yeah, I mean, uh, I still have more fun memories watching them on Superstars of Wrestling than I do Global. Uh, Actually, ESPN still owns some of the library, but the WWE has access. Uh, Yeah, I guess so. He could have. I don't know. Um, from just what I heard, I think it's this guy had money, and I mean, maybe they. I mean, they did stay together for till Joe's passing. So, um, and whatever business ventures he went on, Blackstone was part of it. I think he was a uh, station producer. Um, yeah, he was a managerial consultant for several major media companies, including Turner Broadcasting, Saskatchewan Broadcasting, Clear Channel Broadcasting. I think he was like a station manager for a country station in Macon. So yeah, he was also the owner and general manager of several Georgia-based radio stations, most notably WMKJ, which was uh, according to this, a classic country station in Mount Sterling. Anything before that? No, I'm not getting a rabbit hole. Yeah, let's see. So yeah, there's Hogansville, Georgia, which is southwest tip of Atlanta. Uh, Station manager there. Also in Rome, Georgia, so not South Georgia, Northeast. And oh, here we go. 2007, Joe Pensato bought WEKS, which was given approval by the Federal Communications Commission to increase its broadcasting range 2 months later. The country music station originally only available in Griffith, uh, then be heard on 92.5 in Troop, Maryworth, Coweta County, Pike County, and Spalding counties. So uh, yeah, I knew he thought he was like a manager or something like that for radio stations. Uh, for a short time, he did on Fox Sports Radio. Him and Bobby Blackstone hosted this show called Pro Wrestling This Week. That's about it. But yeah, as far as him being a human jump rope, I don't know. He could be just a charming guy, and young Bonnie Blackstone just fell in love with a big lug. Apparently, she's keeping busy too. She does a lot of non-profit profit things, charity stuff. Blackstone was awarded Volunteer of the Year in 2014, and her station Small Business of the Year in 2018. And 2017, she formed her fourth LLC company, Marketing Behind the Mic, a company specializing in corporate and commercial video production. So, interesting little read. Like I said, I don't want to delve in that rabbit hole. Uh, but she also had a cup of coffee in the WWF. I mean, wasn't long or anything. I think she might have been like a tryout, but yeah, like I was saying, there was talking about this big, he would go to these different promotions, even his own Georgia All Star Wrestling, and talk about this big global wrestling federation, and talked about it on Superstars Wrestling as well. Uh, but then it hit, and apparently cost him a lot of money, so uh, they left, um, or they temporarily closed it and sold it to this other promotion group. Um, but it did. A lot of stars came out of that. You had not only Jerry Lynn and John Waltman, Lightning Kid, X Pac, whatever you want to call him, but you also had uh, Booker T and Stevie Ray, who were the Ebony Experience and Global. Went on to become Harlem Heat, and of course Booker T became a singles and huge star. Uh, Justin Hawk, uh, just or John Hawk or whatever his name was. That what he used there, but JBL, you guys start there, I do believe. Um, and that actually finally pulled for the last time in 1994. I showed September 25th, 1994. So they lasted 3 years, and that was during a time where wrestling was kind of. I think Memphis still or USWA was still around. Uh, uh, ECW ain't quite cranked up yet, I believe, or it's getting cranked up, but not what never. I don't think anybody realized was what would become ECW. I think it was still called Eastern Championship Wrestling at the time. Smoky Mountain was around, but a lot of scandals at the time. You had the Ring Boy scandal. You had the steroid trial. Pretty much the steroid trial kind of like overshadowed the Ring Boy scandal. The referee looked for payday again, and uh, yeah, it was like a very much of a black eye on wrestling at the time, and uh, Jim Cornette probably said it perfectly. It was the wrestling recession at the time. I mean, Jim Cornette, he had started Smoky Mountain Wrestling, and even as good as that was, uh, he didn't last long. But ECW just kept building momentum, changed, trying to gave everybody something new, something a lot of stuff people hadn't seen before. The hardcore matches or more of it. Sabu, going through moonsault people through tables, along with a Public Enemy, uh, which Axel Rotten, we're kind of seeing glimpse out here. He became a big star in ECW with Balls Mahoney. Uh, but yeah, there's like I said, Dale Wilkes had there, uh, and I think oh, can't forget Buff Bagwell, the handsome stranger. He was a rookie during that time, but that's it. Had a lot of young guys, a lot of older guys. Stan Lane had a cup of coffee there. Of course, mentioned Bill Eadie. He was a booker for promotion for a little bit. Um, Sam Houston. He wrestled there for a little bit. Britt Rogers was there for a little bit. And of course, a bunch of people who never really did anything later on, like a Chaz. Who else? Scott Busky, Steve Simpson. He was a kind of star in the world class area, and was like I think him and Chris Walker was the inaugural tag team champions. Chris Walker, I remember, looked like $1,000,000, but I think I do remember seeing him on WWF TV one time, and that was it. Uh, yeah, Johnny Hawk, Bobby Duncan Jr. They were the Texas Mustang, and of course that was part of last place Fabulous Freebirds. That being Michael Hayes, Jimmy Garvin, and Terry Gordy. So when I look at here, they were the final tag team champions. But, but yeah, a lot of people came and went. Of course, Scott Anthony, the Sky the Body or Raven. A lot of people. Let's see. I think what else I remember about Global. But I kind of do remember when you started like reading like behind the scenes type stuff. That's when you kind of wonders like why didn't he? Only thing I think about maybe he just couldn't get a good enough building. He still had well WCW probably had rights to all the good buildings in Georgia just to keep Vince and the WWF out of there. Um, and I guess they try to give it that global feel and thought Sportatorium in Dallas would be it. But hell, they even changed the name to that. They changed the name to the Global Dome. But you watch it, that's a Sportatorium, dude. Um, Definitely one of those things to find out. Need to wish I could find some Georgia All Star Wrestling on here, but can't seem to find anything. So still searching. So if anybody has any content, point me in the right direction. But I just love to see some just my own personal like not really just be on here. Which reminds me, I need to figure out what to watch next week. Have we speaking of Smoky Mountain, we've done Smoky Mountain once on here, haven't we? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I know we have. I know. Let's say AWA. Yep. Episode 18 was Smoky Mountain. Actually, how about we go to Canada next week? I think I found some 80s Stampede. I think this was more featuring uh, the British Bulldogs when they came back and stuff like that. I just glimpsed over it, but I'll show some Stampede wrestling. We ain't done any Stampede. Well, yeah, I guess we did Puerto Rico, so that was international. So, yeah, I think next week we'll venture out to Canada, eh? And watch some Stampede wrestling, hard nosed wrestling, eh? should be interesting. Anyway, I think that does it for me this evening. Like I said, uh, replay's about to go up. If you got a question, want to say hello or anything like that, hit me up in the comments. Also, click on that like button uh, that has a thumbs up on it. Lets me know that people like it. Also, if you're not a subscriber yet, be a champ and click on that subscribe button and notification bell so you'll be notified of all my content when they become available. That sound better? Sound better when I said before. Anyway, I'm hungry. You folks have a good one. Take it easy. And until next time.
So long from the peach state of Georgia.
Thank you for checking out our P2 Vision. Subscribe to our P2 Vision to watch Ronald Ray's content that covers the sport of professional wrestling from yesterday to today. His weekly content starts off with Wrestling Trivia Tuesday. Every Tuesday, Ronald Ray asks 5 questions about the sport of professional wrestling. So tune in and have some fun. Then it's WWE Monday Night Raw recaps, where he recaps all the action from the Raw brand. Ronald Ray also does an AEW Dynamite recap show where he recaps and has fun doing it. Do you like live streams? Well, join Ronald Ray live on Spot Show Livestream, where he discusses current wrestling. Join the chat and have fun. Spot Show Livestream is on Thursday nights starting at 8 p.m. If current pro wrestling isn't your thing, like all wrestling past and present, or you're a new fan and want to hear how things were back in the day, then tune in to Wrestling Gold Friday night, where Ronald Ray discusses back in the day when wrestling was wrestling, featuring watch-alongs. That's Wrestling Gold Friday night on Fridays starting at 8 p.m.